checking in August 28th, 2021 at 6:07 p.m. Hurricane Ida. This is what the weather is like. Hurricane Ida is supposed to hit landfall tomorrow, Sunday, August 29th, around 7 p.m. in the evening. I will record through the storm. We will document this. Everyone be safe. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you. Have a nice day. August 28th, Saturday, 6:10 p.m. 24 hours before Hurricane Ida hits landfall, New Orleans, Louisiana. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell. What you doing, baby girl? The hurricane's about to hit. Are you ready? Huh? It's about to hit. Hurricane Ida. Love you. Love you, baby girl. We're gonna jump in the bathtub if we have to and cover ourselves with a mattress. The only option we got, because we never left. We stayed home. I love you, baby. Alright, it's Sunday, August 29th, 2021, Hurricane Ida. It's 8:33 a.m. Sunday morning. Alright, it's 9:30, Sunday, August 29th, 9:30 a.m. Hurricane Ida. The winds are picking up. Starting to rain right now. 9:40 Sunday morning, August 29th, 2021. Alright, it's 10 o'clock a.m. Sunday morning, August 29th, 2021. Hurricane Ida. It's raining. The winds are picking up. Limbs are falling out the trees. Rain's coming down, branches are coming.
already seen some video from that area of levees being overtopped there, those ring levees. They're not the same as those federal levees that are in the New Orleans area. These are these earthen levees that help protect the fishing communities down there in eastern St. Bernard. And we saw some video a short while ago where some of them were actually being overtopped. And they have pumps in place to help pump that water out once this storm passes, of course. Earlier we spoke with Monty Longo, who is a former St. Bernard Parish councilman who now owns Parish Marina, about what he expected with this storm. I know this is early in the storm, but we're already seeing wind gusts at your place here at Parish Marina at gusting up to 50 miles per hour, sustained winds of about 37 miles per hour. What is your expectation now with Ida?
I expect that we'll get 110 mile an hour winds over here. For hurricane
without power. That's the story here at St. Bernard. Paul Murphy, Eyewitness News.
Wow, Paul, just you can tell that you're bracing yourself up against that pole. You're such a pro, and we really appreciate your reports and hope you stay safe.
All right, and we did talk about the Mississippi Weather Network, talking about the Shell's Mars Deepwater oil platform broken loose. Now, Katie, you just got some information that they may have retracted that?
Yes, there's some posts that are happening on social media saying that they're retracting that because they don't have enough information to confirm it. So that's something that has not been nailed down. So we want to make sure that we say that. That's important.
And that's the trouble with things like this. We have so many things going on at once,
yeah.
And it is hard to verify everything. You know, it is possible it happened. When you get a reputable source like the Mississippi Weather Network, you tend to believe it, but now they're retracting because they're not sure they can verify it.
Right. Well, we'll just have to make sure that we check it out.
Yeah.
And so many things are changing so quickly too. You just heard Paul Murphy say that storm surge is already in like the 8 feet range, and just 35 minutes ago, Alexander was tweeting that Shell Beach, it was at 7.2 feet. So many things are going to be changing over even the next 30 minutes, next hour or so, that there's going to be a lot of updates to be shared.
And now we're getting reports that more than 200,000 people, homes are without power right now in Louisiana. And again, we're not even into the roughest part in the most populous part of the state yet.
No, although, Homa and the areas in Terrebonne Parish, just past Port Fourchon, where, of course, we saw this storm make landfall around 11:30 this morning. And those areas are really starting to take the brunt of it. And so I think we're going to continue to see those outages increase as the day goes on. But even in random places, like you said, your house lost power uptown.
Yeah, just a few minutes ago. And we were talking about, we were very worried about Homa before in Terrebonne Parish.
Yeah.
Lafourche is getting really hit hard.
Chapter.
All right, let's go to Jefferson Parish. They're having a news conference. Cynthia Lee Shane.
You have people there on Grand Isle. Our concern from the beginning has been this level of storm surge for that island and the people who chose to remain on it. We are in touch. We just were in touch with them. We're still via radio contact in touch with them. We were in touch with the fire station. The fire station is taking on now. Now what you see in Grand Isle, you're going to start seeing coming up this way, so our attention is quickly on the feet, and the conditions will be.
Good afternoon. This morning we've been in close contact with all of our healthcare facilities. We already have multiple hospitals and nursing homes across the parish who are operating on generator power, but all of them are able to currently provide essential services and people are safe there. We continue to remind everyone how full hospitals are, and today we had a hospital in Region 3 that had to evacuate and move into the hospitals here in Jefferson Parish. So they are extra full at the moment, and so as Madam Parish President said, it is really important that we not go to the emergency room unless it is a life-threatening emergency. As I mentioned yesterday, after this storm, we will have oxygen tanks for distribution. If your oxygen tank is empty, you can bring it to these sites and we will replace it with a new one. These sites are not open today. They will only open after all of the streets are safe and the threat has passed. And so we will announce that opening when it comes. But these sites are Fire Station 20 at 4110 Hudson Street in Metairie and Fire Station 81 at 808 MacArthur Avenue in Harvey. We are also preparing to open shelters post-storm for people who need them. Just a reminder, these will be comfort settings in local recreation centers. It may not be luxury accommodations, but it will be there for people who need it. Anyone who has medical special needs needing a shelter will be transported outside of the region post-storm to areas in northern Louisiana to medical shelters there. If you believe that you need to go to a shelter after the storm, please call 504-349-5360 and we will triage based on needs and assess whether or not it's appropriate for you to go to a shelter. We will continue to reiterate generator safety at every press conference throughout this storm because this is a high cause of death. Generators need to be set up outdoors, away from windows, doors, air conditioning units, and when you need to refuel them, please allow it to cool completely before adding more fuel. Also, if you're using generators right now, it may not be the safest time to go out and refuel in the middle of the storm, particularly if there are trees in your yard nearby. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. As I mentioned, our first responder communities are waiting for the time that they can go out and engage in search and rescue. As I mentioned before, Sheriff Joseph Lapinto is on the East Bank. Our fire chief, Chief Tibbetts, is on the East Bank. We also have the Louisiana National Guard here, and they'll work in conjunction with our West Bank Volunteer Fire Company. So with that, I want to introduce our Fire Services Director, Mr. Brian Adams.
Thank you. As the parish president said, tomorrow morning at daylight, we will get out and assist the other departments across the parish with clearing streets. So you'll see us out with chainsaws and just clearing the roadways. So if we need to get to an emergency, we can. We'll clear those roadways for us, the sheriff's office, our EMS service, and whatever it takes for us to get along the roadways. Also tomorrow morning at daylight, we will set up an area in Lafitte where we're going to be prepared just in case the water came up and we'll need to rescue people out of their homes or whatever may happen in Lafitte. So along with the National Guard, the Sheriff's Office, and our firefighters on the West Bank, as well as some of the members from the East Bank, will be wood at the ground ready to go tomorrow morning for those rescues. So with that, that's all we have. Stay inside, as everyone else has said up here today. I mean, stay inside. Give us time to get out there tomorrow and do what we have to do.
Okay, obviously our council members is the governing authority in Jefferson Parish. We're very fortunate that they are working with us. Their staffs are out. They've been out all morning. So with that, I'm our council chairman, Councilman Scott Walker, will address you, followed by Councilman at Large for Division B, Ricky Templett, and then Councilman for District 2, Dino Bonanno, and then Councilman for District 3, Councilman Byron Lake.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I'll be brief. Again, there's not much more that I can say today that I haven't said the past 2 days, except to repeat a couple of things. Here at the EOC in Gretna, we get a nice snapshot of what's going on in the parish. And what we see right now, as you've heard, is that Grand Isle and Lafitte are dealing with a lot, and they're going to continue to deal with a lot. And what they're dealing with now is going to affect us later in the day. So while it might not look terrible outside in Upper Jefferson right now, it will be terrible at some point in the day. So do not think that because this has made landfall and you're seeing Grand Isle and Lafitte get hammered, that you're not going to get affected later in the day as well. It is coming, and conditions will quickly deteriorate in Upper Jefferson Parish as the day moves on. We are here at the EOC. My fellow council members have been on the phone and on the internet and answering emails and monitoring social media, and that's what we're here to do. So if you have problems, contact us. We're here, we're listening, and we're ready to help you get through any troubles that you may have. But this is far from over. As Mr. Adams said, please stay inside. Don't make it more difficult on our first responders, and please stay safe. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. He spoke on behalf of our council members. As I mentioned, Councilman Edwards, I've been in touch with him in District 1, Councilman Van Rankin and Councilman Basato on the East Bank, and they really should not be coming over to the West Bank right now. It is not safe conditions. So with that, does anybody have any questions? Brina? It's difficult. No, we were in touch with our firefighters in Grand Isle. We were glad still in touch with them, but everybody is inside, so it's a little bit too early to understand what's going on. Mayor Carmodell told me last night that in addition to some first responders that are on the island, he thinks that a total of 40 people are there, but everybody is, as I said, we're getting requests for rescue, but I don't know if even they know the staff, those people, responders on the island yet. It looks very bad. We have a camera that was here at the EOC that was on the island. We lost that at 5 o'clock. Some of the council members were found cameras. It looks very, very difficult. We're seeing some private cameras that we're finding, but the conditions are very, very bad right now in Grand Isle. They are really getting beaten up right at this moment. So the surge is very high. The roads have been impassable for a while. We did get reports early on, which we expected that, they're used to storms. They've been through so many, but that water was coming in areas that normally don't even take on water. So, of course, this is a different storm. At the fire station, it crossed the road, and it's on the bottom floor of the fire station. But that's an open kind of area. Okay. Councilman Walker is saying we got reports at 6 feet on Highway 1, which is the only road in. Yes. And again, we probably won't be able to assess those conditions for quite some time on Grand Isle. Now, just a reminder, we keep saying this, the secondary effects of this storm are just as dangerous. So right now in Jefferson, we have not started seeing it. Conditions are starting to get worse, but it's going to be a long, long day. But please, our first responders are here and ready to do their job. We have to work as a community. Give them free access to the roads. Let them assess the roads. Let them get the trees off the roads. Let them assess for down power lines. Please do not go out. I know everybody's going to have cabin fever when this is all over with, but we have got to be smart about this. We have got to work together as a community, and we all say we support law enforcement and responders. We need to show that action now. But if you don't have a critical issue, you're going to stay put and you're going to do your part for our first responders. They do not need extra people on the road. They do not need extra car accidents that don't need to happen. They do not need to be responding to any post-storm injury. Let them respond to the injuries that are happening during the storm. So this is my plea of you as a community. Let's give and work with our first responders and let's stay out of their way so they can do their job, please.
No,
Any other
or
questions?
maybe it's gotta be a minute.
Okay. Everybody be safe. Thank you very much. We will be in touch. Again, text 888-777, text alert to 888-777, or for JP Noticias to 888-777, and we will be in touch with you on our next briefing. Thank you.
All right, you've been listening to a press conference from Jefferson Parish. They are down at the Emergency Operations Center in Gretna right now. They said that the power outages have begun. Most of them right now are in the Grand Isle area and the lower part of Jefferson Parish. Places like Lafitte, Barataria, conditions there are deteriorating. They talked a little bit about what Grand Isle has already seen. They had some pretty high winds there, very high winds there. Multiple people who did elect to stay on Grand Isle have called 911. But they don't know if those people were able to get help. There are about 40 people in total on the island. About half of them are first responders. And they say that those kind of conditions are going to be slowly moving north through Jefferson. So even if it looks okay right now, stay home. This is the time to stay inside because things will be changing rapidly from here.
I think another thing that we heard from Jefferson Parish officials is that there's already 6 feet of water over Highway 1.
Yeah, so there's no way.
No way in and out. So, you know, the first responders who are on the island are really responsible for, are going to be responsible for getting those people out. But they said, you know, they sort of gave a warning about this 2 days ago that if you're going to stay, it may be a while before first responders can get to you.
Nails all of a sudden become driving hazards. So you do have the debris, you will have nails on the roads, and not to mention just the danger of driving in these winds. This is the time at the moment to stay off of the roads, especially on the South Shore and down farther south. The North Shore really hasn't had, they've had some gusty winds certainly, but in terms of the rainfall, they are getting breaks in the rain. From the South Shore, it is a pretty solid wall of rain that is moving through. Now this is the velocity as I was talking about, and it does kind of give you an idea of some of the wind speeds. Now, these are the sustained winds, and this is based on radar imagery, about 43 mile an hour sustained in and around the city. Now, they're only reporting 22, so let's see if we can kind of update that. I'm going to clear it out, and then we will update some of these numbers here, and we'll see exactly what the radar is indicating. Look, even Cocodrie is still saying 128 mile per hour winds. These are sustained winds. These are not wind gusts. These are the sustained winds.
Yeah, and Chris, my friend in Homa, who has wind gauges and accurate wind gauges, says that it clocked in at 55 mile an hour, about a mile off Highway 182. And he said, so far, damage-wise, you know, some tree limbs down, things like that.
And it's, you know, and it's only going to get worse. So again, this is the radar estimates, 43 mile an hour winds. You go down toward, and you see Galliano. Well, you know what? Actually, Galliano may be starting to get on near the eye, so that may be why the winds have settled down a bit there. If you look at Cocodrie, 118. You do have near Grand Isle, 99 mile per hour winds. And again, it's going to be this wind swath that continues up toward Homa and eventually up toward Schriever and then Hahnville and across the river parishes. We will have to wait and see just how far to the east that wind field is to determine just how strong the winds here in the city are going to get very shortly.
So for my friend in Homa, he hasn't seen the worst of it yet, has he?
No, we can actually kind of get an estimate of what the winds are doing there right now. And if it comes up here, yeah, well, they're estimated 111 miles.
He's a mile off Highway 182, and he was clocking it at 55 miles an hour on the wind gauges.
Was that just recently?
Let's see, what time?
type storms. We were expecting winds of more than 100 miles per hour. You can see across the street there's actually some small branches rolling down the street here. A lot of rain, a lot of wind. And as for the areas of St. Bernard Parish that are outside the levee protection, we're told that the storm surge is coming up. They were expecting the storm surge to be anywhere between 8 and 12 feet. So that would certainly put water back up on the road in places like Delacroix and places like Waclawski and Shell Beach. And that, we're told, is happening at this point. The water has made its way all the way up to the rock dam on the Forest St. Highway, and we haven't heard about any water on LA 46 just yet. Inside the levee protection here in St. Bernard, things appear to be holding. Folks are staying home. The only vehicles that we've seen out on the road lately have been sheriff's deputies, so that's a good thing. So it's still watching and waiting to see how much is damage, how many impacts from Ida we're going to see here in St. Bernard. And as the storm moves, the parish government is poised to chip in and get out there and start clearing up these roads. And we're told that there are some downed trees. There are 3,100 as last count of customers, energy customers without power down here, and that number will likely grow throughout the day. And that's right here. Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Paul. We hope you have somewhere very safe to go whenever this kicks up even more.
Yeah. And we are having issues in St. Charles Parish. Let's get over to there. People in emergency shelters in St. Charles, and William Joy talked to some of them.
Right now we are at a community center in St. Charles Parish, which has been set up as one of 2 shelters of last resort for people here in the parish to take shelter from this storm. We got here around 10 a.m. There was a steady flow of people coming in to take shelter, but since then it seems like everybody who was going to make this the place where they wait out their storm has already gotten here. Went to a middle school earlier where there were maybe a couple of families, but here there are about 30 people maybe who have decided to take shelter here. Right now the winds have started to pick up a little bit. There's maybe a sprinkle of rain compared to what we will be seeing later on. Some of these families said they just made the decision this morning because they got calls from other concerned family members. Others said past experiences are what led them to decide that they did not want to wait out this storm in their home or their trailers or wherever they were living at. I talked to Rudy Johnson earlier, who said he has experienced too many hurricanes before to decide to not
made that there just anyway with the city. Just about wrapped around the hour eyewall to that area of the strongest supposed to be before this region that strong that would be warnings issued throughout the course of the afternoon, into the evening, and overnight. As I said, for us into the wind's just really howling out here. Like I said, it was going to be kind of a period of being near terrified. And we're in a very strong building, and we can clearly hear what the winds are doing outside. To be in a home, I know just over this morning, when I went up to my attic to get a couple of things, you could hear the roof creaking, and it was already getting me a little bit more nervous. I said, if you wanted to stay home and you feel safe, then, by all means do it. But Hope you still feel safe, because it is very rough out there. And again, just because it's scary doesn't mean you're not going to be all right, but it is going to be kind of a period here. We're closing in on some of the strongest winds moving in the city. And showing you some of the actual observations. They really don't seem to line up with certainly what we're hearing here and what our radar estimates are showing. But just again, taking a look at and what we have been observing here, 43-mile-an-hour winds sustained at Kenner, 51 at Gulfport, or at Lakefront Airport. Galliano right now reporting 59-mile-per-hour winds, adjusting up to 81 at Port Fourchon. Homa not reporting, Belchase not reporting, Boothville not reporting at the moment, but the field is leaning in toward the metro area, but it looks like the core of the strongest winds are really moving in a path that's going to take it west of the city, over Homa, and in fact more of the Gonzales, Baton Rouge area as it continues along the path that way. Not to say we won't see an 80 southern wind speed. It will continue to increase over the course of the next several hours in the metro area. But as far as the core of those strong winds, that looks like it's going to stay more to the west of this.
All right, good stuff. Thank you much, Chris. Thank you, Chris. I know that it has been howling here in
Has billions to restore by prioritizing states hit by natural disasters in the last 6 years. And we're going to take a significant investment. That's what this infrastructure pact allows. By the way, there's about $50 million for the parish around Lake Pontchartrain for them to help with their coastal integrity. There's two shore involve
Bad tip.
Pontchartrain and There's also assistance there. I keep stressing it, but I don't want to have terrible conversations in the future. I want us to be saying, in the future, as we now say, the levy is now, for now.
Have you got to get pushback from your fellow Republicans on your support for the infrastructure bill?
And so it was bipartisan to Senate side, about 40% of our
gusts that sustain 4 miles an hour. Winds have been picking up along the North Shore as well, but they are very violent around the city. Now, obviously, not in comparison to what the coastline and then areas out to the west will see, but they'll have turned a little more violent. So this is not the time to try and go sudden. And I'm meteorologist found a video of some guy posting along the lake. This isn't the time, again, to go sightseeing and trying to do any making your own ambitions. And, you know, people will criticize and say, well, you're out in it, but you're telling us to go out in it. Well, we're trying to provide information and keep people safe. And for those especially that are outside, what is going on back home, we're trying to provide that information, as well as the folks that have decided to stay, kind of tell them where the danger is moving. If they sometimes need to get to higher ground. So that really has been too much of an issue so far, but we are really just in the early stages, unfortunately, of the impacts from Ida. We are now getting in on some of the heaviest of the rainfall here in the city. It's not quite up to the North Shore, though the North Shore is getting some very heavy rainfall. The worst is you do see new flash flood warnings being issued here and there. I mean, you could put a flash flood warning across South Louisiana, and but it does look like, or we are seeing flooding here in the metro area, and that includes the river parishes. Obviously, you're going to get the flooding down across parts of Terrebonne and Lafourche. Now, these may, was seen earlier, also produce some tornadoes, and there is going to be the risk of tornado that will continue through the night and going into even early tomorrow as this
It's Sunday, August 29th, 5:35 p.m. Hurricane Ida. It's hitting real hard right now. Branches came through my kitchen roof, and I got parts of the tree laying on the house in the back. I don't want to go out there and record it because it's getting real bad. And son, if I live through this, I love you. And if I don't live through this, I love you. Everybody be safe. The back patio's caving in. There's a big tree on the roof. It's on the patio on the roof and it's caving in. I don't even want to open the back door. This is insane. We got a huge tree in the backyard. Everything's caving in. fuck? Get the fuck out of here. I love you, baby girl. Just lay down. Lay down, baby. Baby girl, lay down. It's August 29th. It's August 29th. 7:15 p.m. Sunday night. August 29th, 2021. Sunday night, 7:15 p.m. It's bad outside. Hurricane Ida. I'm just sitting low, trying to make sure nothing flies through the windows. I see people's parts of their roofs on the street, but that would not. So everybody be safe. Today's August 30th, about 8 a.m. in the morning, a day after Hurricane Ida, and this is what damage is left. Half the tree is gone. It was full yesterday. Half of it's gone. It's in my backyard, out on my roof and patio and stuff. Shingles are everywhere. Yeah, the tree limbs took down lines and stuff. It's a mess. It's like a jungle back here. The back patio. Can't even see. Everything's just on the roof. Smashed out a roof. gutters. Total destruction. Whole fence is laying sideways. All night I heard big branches just tumbling across the roof, flying over the other side, the front end, and flying across the street. I thought the roof was going to cave in. Took a lot of damage. Had a branch go through the kitchen, into the through the roof, into the kitchen. Went through the roof and through the sheetrock in the kitchen, and like a sword, stabbed right through it. And it did a lot of cracking on the inside sheetrock too, on the roof. This tree was full, and it's missing a lot now. Half of it's gone, or more than half. I would say more than half. And this is a big tree. This is underneath my back patio. Oh, that was clear. There was nothing here. That's odd. Trees on the roof. Caved the patio and patio cover. It's a big mess. This is the branch. It went through the roof. That went through the kitchen. Stabbed like a sword. I heard something thump, and I looked up, and they had a branch come through while I was standing in the kitchen. all on the roof. All right, it's Tuesday, August 31st, 2021, 4:30 p.m. Today was the first day of cleanup after Hurricane Ida. And I got the front cleaned up and the side of the house. This is the debris I got out my yard just from the front and side. The backyard's going to have a bigger pile because there's a lot more in the backyard and all on the roof and everywhere. This is the tree everything came from. How did debris come from this tree? More than half of that tree's gone. That tree was a lot bigger and fuller. Still got to get all the shingles up. Shingles are everywhere. I just raked it and everything raked over it. And I had to carry a bunch of the stuff. All shingles. Couldn't even walk in the front yard at first after the storm. It was all around the front door, around the whole house. The backyard's like that. It's pushed up all against the house in the backyard and on the roof. All of this went up to six feet tall. The debris, the branches and everything fell on these wires. There's a kink in that wire right there. That was down low. The branch was on it. It popped up here. It popped in a couple places. Right. The wires hanging right there. Them two wires are popped. couple of them, or 2 or 3 or 4. And this is your cable. It was branches fell on this internet and cable wire. Tore it all up. It's all torn up out the thing, hanging. 2 wires. One goes down and one goes up. So tomorrow, all of this, couldn't even walk over here, but all of this is for tomorrow. Man, I'm not gonna be able to do it all in one day. Just do a little bit at a time. On a roof and the wires. Yeah. Walk. Made a couple of trailways through here. My squirrels, I feed them. Like it already stormed again after Hurricane Ida. Last night it stormed. It's supposed to storm again in a little while. Today's Tuesday. Sunday, Hurricane Ida hit. Yeah, there's a lot of damage. More back here. The fence is all torn up. Fence is real loose too. It's real wobbly. Took a beating. This was a fence I replaced not long ago, a couple of years ago. And it's leaning and it's all beat up. The foundation for the post or pulled out the ground. That's where it's damage out at. It's wobbly. And there's the Squirrel Ninja course. It took a beating. Took a lot of stuff off and put in the shed. Other things. Even these feeders, I took them down. I put them back after the storm passed to feed the birds and squirrels. It's a lot of damage. All the gutters are torn up. They all smashed from the branches. Patio cover's torn up. The roof on the house is torn up. The inside the kitchen's torn up. The sheetrock's even splitting. It's got a branch through the kitchen ceiling, and the sheetrock splitting across the kitchen ceiling on the inside interior. And like there's more and more damage, the more I look. Once I get everything cleaned out, you'll be able to see all the damage. And there's hidden damages. I heard all this debris off this tree beating on the roof all night, and I heard all them big branches rolling, boom, 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 across the whole roof. Like, it was pretty serious. And I said, a lot of shingles flew off, but I'm wondering if it damaged all the plywood. I don't know. I'm looking at the front of the house. I don't know if you can see it in this video, but I could see it in person. It's got a bunch of dips. There's dips all on the roof. You can see it. It looks like wavy. I heard all them branches just like thunder rolling on the roof, and I was pretty nervous. I really thought the roof was gonna cave in, but it didn't. For hours, I thought I didn't know where to go in the house. I was trying to get as far away from the tree as possible on this side of the house. So I came in this window, and I was watching, and this is the furthest away from that tree at the end of the house. And the wind was blowing this way, and I was over here. So the wind was blowing this way, everything was going over the roof. And over the car, I was watching big tree branches just roll and miss the car by 6 inches because they were rolling off the roof. And shingles fly. And of course, this is the debris that landed in the front yard and in the side of the house. But this is it for today. I mean, I did I had took these lights out before the storm. I put them in the shed, so that's why they still there. I saved them. I'm glad I took them out. But this is it for today. This is all the cleaning for the front and the side of the house. A lot of other people had damages. They got damages everywhere, but we had one of the biggest trees. So they got a tree right there by the corner. That tree fell behind me. You can't see it in the video, but I did take a video of it this morning, and I will add it into whatever, if I make a little documentary or whatever. You have a good day. Be safe.
Low battery warning.
You what, it's a pretty day today. That's that branch that's on the side. I'm walking around the front, the top of the tree. A lot of it's cut off though and broke off. These are other trees, I guess. I don't know if it's the same tree. Oh, it fell on the truck. Well, these were trees once standing, and this is the big boy right here. How big it is. It's out one tree. Oh, I'm standing under in it, right under big branch, a big branch. The old tree. This is all one tree. This thing's huge. There he goes. My boy. What are you doing, man? You had a good time? Come here, let me get your hand too. Say hello. Take that mask off your face. Give me a smile. Just got back from Texas, huh? Yeah. Yeah? All right. Walmart's open. No, sideways. Bloody sideways. You what? Yeah. Look at the toilet. All right, today's Wednesday, September 1st, 2021. It's 4:15 p.m. It's a few days after Hurricane Ida hit. Second day cleaning, and we just got debris. It's piling up. There's still a good bit left in the backyard. Yeah, there's a lot damaged back there. It's just too much. Oh, this come from the front of the house, the side by the gate. I noticed the gate was damaged too. Wouldn't even open or close. Got beat up. But all this is from the front, the side of the house, the rear of the house. There's still a lot big trees on the roof and stuff, and the patio cover. Yeah, it's a lot. Second day cleaning up. And it's packed tight too. Alright, let's go see. It's the famous tree. More than half of that tree's gone. That tree was much fuller. And much bigger. Yeah, did all this today. Cleared all this out. Had to make pathways at first. Yeah, this is where I noticed the gate had took a beating. Got all this stuff down. There's still stuff on the roof and still a lot to do. Cleared all this out. I was barricaded in the backyard. It was all around the patio. Right after the storm hit. Come out, it was just ridiculous. But the patio took a beating too. It kind of saved the house more. House got a lot of damage, but patio saved it too. And then got a few fence boards. Put them up temporarily. I think that back fence is all weak. Real shaky. Yeah, this fence is laying. It's kind of laying, and it's pulled out the foundation of where the poles are at. They're pulled. All bent. Still got that stuff to deal with. tired. Branches out back here, all tangled up. Well, that's it. That's it for the day. Y'all be safe. Alright, today's the third day cleanup. Thursday, September 2nd, 2021. This is debris. They still have more in the backyard. These were the big branches, and they got bit another bigger one in the backyard. All this was on the roof. And all of this a lot of it is it rode off the roof into the front of the house and the side of the house, and a lot fell straight down on the patio and on the roof. The bigger limbs stayed in the back, but these big ones right here, these were in between. It rolled off the house onto the side. The side of the house was packed with that. It was like 7 foot tall, and the back was too. So it's a good little bit. Three days. Of cleanup for this stuff, and it's packed real tight. It's not just thrown, it's packed. I had to go buy a chainsaw. I took a ride to Home Depot and saw a lot of businesses, just a lot of everything. Brick walls ripped off of businesses. Roofs completely ripped off of the veterinary hospital on Hickory, completely ripped off of the roof, the whole roof. There's electric poles laid down everywhere. So this is my baby girl right here. We rode the storm out together, me and my baby. She loves her daddy. She did a good job at the storm. Yes, she did. She just ate some watermelon. Oh, she's full, Daddy. Daddy, she's full. She had her watermelon, Daddy. The big baby. Oh no, Daddy. Daddy, don't do it. Daddy, you made me fat. She's definitely hydrated. Won't let that baby girl go get dehydrated, huh? My baby. I love you.
He rode the storm out. We made it through Hurricane Ida.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. All right, y'all be safe.